Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back and thank you for joining me once again here on Riverview. It is the start of March the 2nd, or the second period of March, of the 3 periods that we run on this site. I've got some harvesting to do. I've got some bales I need to go and collect. My hay bales, hay roll, for grass rolling that will need to be done. But yes, it's a lovely morning. I left the harvesting of my own field because obviously the rain was imminent on yesterday's weather forecast, and it did arrive as I was finishing up the tedding and baling of the grass field 18, so I'm pretty pleased that I decided to not start combining last evening. And we can instead start today. Like I say, the plan will be get this field done. As relatively quickly as we can, and then we can come straight on with the cedar or the planter, whichever one I decide to do, and get some crop in the ground, and then we kind of just kick back then. Everything should then be harvestable before the end of the year, and long before winter. So hopefully won't need to do any harvesting in the snow this year. And then after the crops have been harvested, I will just slap some oilseed radish down on the fields, and leave them then until the following spring before I reseed them all. And then I'm not mucking about like we have been over the last several episodes with bad weather messing up all my harvesting plans and interrupting the harvesting. I mean, this harvester's not the biggest and bestest harvester anyway. So it takes a while to harvest anything, and then it's not helped if I have to keep stopping for several hours at each day because of snow or rainfall. So yeah, we want to try and get the crops to reach harvest point at a different time in the year, when we don't have the weather working against us. Yes, we are well on course. It's nearly 1 PM. It's been a while since I recorded my first video today. I have had lunch in between recording the last episode and this episode, and I did get my arm twisted to go and have a McDonald's. But now I'm feeling quite stuffed, and I actually feel like I need to have a sleep to burn off all those calories that I've just consumed. I'm not going to have any tea tonight, that is a fact. I mean, I had my meal deal thing from when I went shopping this morning, and then I've had a McDonald's now, only an hour or two later. I'm not that active. I'm not a physically active person. I don't really consume that much. But a £3 meal deal from the supermarket would have lasted me all day. You know, I just don't move around enough and do enough. I really didn't need the McDonald's as well. It's going to take me weeks now to burn that McDonald's off. Certainly isn't helping my ever-expanding waistline. Bad enough I had to buy 2 new pairs of trousers the other week because none of mine fitted me anymore. All my trousers were getting far too tight. I had to go and buy 2 new pairs. And then I had to get some new belts as well because none of my belts fitted either. I got some fancy ratchet ones. Ratchet belts. They don't have holes in. So they can be finely adjusted to whatever size you need them to be. You just pull them tight, and then when you want to release them, you just press the button and the belt slides out. Yeah, quick release belts. Hold my trousers up. Get this field done. Right, an early start for the morning for Delores. Because like I say, I do want to get things done today. I want to get this field harvested. I want to get it reseeded. I then want to get the bales picked up. The hay bales that I made in the last video or two. I want to get them collected. I want to start rolling that field so it's all correctly fertilised, ready for the next grass growing cycle. I mean, fields 13 and 14 are going to be ready to mow again next month in June, so I'm not going to have to wait too long. Going to have to wait too long at all for that. Right, let this guy go down there. I'm going to go fetch Mr. Truck. I sold the rest of the oats from that contract field. I had a little bit left over. I did. Obviously, from when we unloaded the harvester at the bottom of this field. No panic there. We'll get this harvested. I don't know what I'm going to plant next, actually, on this field. What Delores fancies. I know we did some corn on, I think it was field 19. So maybe we ought to go for some sunflowers. Possibly. Sunflowers, quite possibly. Reverse him out of the way. And he'll carry on be harvesting that for us. There are some cultivate, field 32 cultivating contract. See, I'm not terribly invested in there's the harvesting contract that I did cancel the other day. That's now reappeared, field 31. It's just not really, I mean, I would like that kind of money, but for that job. That kind of money for a potato or sugar beet harvesting is not tempting me in the slightest. Field 3 sowing, yeah, not really interested in sowing. So there's not really a lot of contracts that take my mind, apart from, say, Field 32. Cool thing. But to be honest, I don't fancy doing any more contracts. Crazy as that sounds, on a Let's Play series that's been all about the contract. Don't do more. So yeah, we might do a nice field of sunflowers after this. Right, so what I need now then is nah, can't remember. Does this thing auto-load bale? I think it does. I think it does. And I think it auto-loads more than my other trailer. So we'll go and give this one a whirl. Picking up my hay bales. All my silage bales should be pretty good at the minute. Haven't checked the productions lately either, my two dairy. Fine bunch of hay bales. You know what? I forgot a bit. Missed a bit. Oh dear. Just realised. I forgot to come back and do this part of the field. Shizer. Oh well, guess we'll just leave that there till the next time we mow the field. Perfect. Nicely unloaded there. Our officer's got a nearly full grain tank. He's going to stop in a minute and need to be unloaded. He can run backwards and forwards. Getting all this done today. Best we can. Bearing in mind I do need to remember that in about 50 minutes time, at 4 o'clock, I need to be thinking about starting the Ringwoods live stream. Right, that's all the bales there. It's got a full grain tank, so we'll go and empty him in a second. Just need to get this unloaded. You'll be all done, ready. That field will be ready for rolling then. Whether I invest in a bigger grass roller yet is something I've been thinking about, because obviously we've got a lot of grass fields now. And what we really need to do is be able to get them rolled a lot faster. So we may invest in a bigger grass roller than the little one that I've been using, that little Dalbo thing. Nicely unloaded. And then we'll let this guy carry on. Place him nicely there. Right, let's have a look then. I bet they won't have a roller for sale. Cheap. No, that would be spooky if they did have, because I certainly wasn't planning on buying a bigger roller until I just thought about it a few minutes ago. So if they happen to have one cheap in the used market, I would be very surprised. They don't, sadly. So, grassland care. Okay, they don't actually do any bigger grass. That is the biggest grass roller. It's the normal rollers where we do a bigger version, isn't it? Well, not to worry. We just have to use one of these fellas. I leave all the headlights on the vehicles at night because when I'm running around the farm at night, it's just a lot easier to see if all the vehicles have the headlights on. And then I go and sleep and I just leave them on. Because you don't get flat batteries in the game. You don't get flat batteries in Farming Simulator like you would in real life, so there's really no reason for turning your lights off on your vehicles. It just means you can always see whilst you're doing some housekeeping in the evening before you accelerate time, and whilst you're whoa. That was close. I steered into the roll, which made that a heck of a lot worse. And then I was like, no, I can still save it. I can still save it. Yeah, so this fella should be happy to do the rolling. I don't know which way he's going to turn when he gets to the end of the field, but it should be alright. Now, I don't think I need to do anything special to this field after it's been harvested. Needs rolling, I know about. Ah, we do need some lime, apparently. Okay. I'm spreading. Fair enough. What about weeds? I've turned that off. I'm not getting any on my fields. That's okay then. Okay, he's turned that way. That's fine. We know where he's going. Where's my... That's big tractor. About you. I don't know if this little fella's too small to do lime spreading, but we'll find out. We will find out. Have I got any lime in it? Did I refill it after I last used it? %. Go get some more. Not worth risking running out, is it? I mean, we'll probably run out anyway. It is quite a big field. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can give it a good whirl. See how things are occurring. Whilst I was having my dinner, I did watch some tech video things. Watching some reviews of the new RTX 4080 graphics card from Nvidia. I was watching some of the reviews of that, benchmarks that people were doing and testing of it and everything. It's a strange one, that graphics card definitely seems to be very strangely priced and strangely placed in the order of things. I'm suspecting, like a lot of people are now, that the RTX 4080 that Nvidia have brought out should have been called the 4080 Ti, and the 4080 12 gig card that they brought out that everyone moaned about and said should have been the 4070, that probably was the true 4080 card. Because when you actually look at the benchmarks and the testing, the results, when all these reviewers have put the card to the test in various different applications, different games at different resolutions with different settings and stuff, there's not a lot of difference between the 4080 and the 4090, which is obviously supposed to be the big super duper all singing all dancing mega amazing card. So yeah, I think the 4080 should have been the 4080 Ti. I think Nvidia kind of messed up on that. And then the other card which they've actually sort of pulled back because of the backlash they got for the 4080, 12 gig, which they're now, I think they're now going to call the 4070 or the 4070 Super or something. That should have been the 4080 card. But I've been looking at those reviews quite closely because obviously in a couple of weeks' time the AMD cards arrive, and so far AMD have not shown anything to do with the whole performance of the new cards, their new cards, and how they run in, you know, what sort of figures you get running certain games, certain applications and stuff. The only figures AMD have shown is how these new cards compare to their previous cards. So they're comparing their cards to their old cards, not comparing it to Nvidia's cards. So far, anybody who's like pre-ordering an AMD card is doing it really blind and uninformed. So I'm waiting to see what all the reviewers, when they get their hands on the cards and test them, what the actual score is with them. Because ultimately that's going to make my decision then. Once I've got those figures, it's going to help me make my decision on which road I go down next year in terms of new PC. Do I go with an AMD PC? Or do I stick with Intel and Nvidia for another cycle? Another half decade or whatever, you know? But yeah, I'll be keeping a very close eye on when the reviews start coming out for the AMD cards and how they perform compared to the Nvidias. Because from what I've seen so far, the AMD cards don't look all that amazing, really. And to say that you won't have ray tracing on the AMD cards, you won't have DLSS, you won't have quick G-Sync on the AMD cards, that's a heck of a lot to lose if you're not getting a whole load of actual fantastic performance out of the box. I mean, certainly from, like I say, from what I've been seeing over the last couple of weeks, since the whole processors and everything were announced and stuff, at first everyone was raving about the AMD processors and how amazing they were. They were a little bit concerned about the fact that the processors run at 90 degrees Celsius at stop. Without being overclocked or anything, they run at that speed, that hot anyway. Seems very excessive. But apparently they're designed to run at that temperature, so they're supposed to. But then obviously Intel fired back with their Raptor Lake series, and once again the 13900K series Intel processor looks like it's the real deal. So again, from all the reviews I've seen of that in the last couple of days, it's head and shoulders above every other processor on the market that they test it against. including the new A&Ds, which don't get near the Intel. Yeah, curious. Curious and curious. Like I say, whatever I buy, I want to make sure that when I buy it, that's it. Realistically, for me, at my time of life and my age, I do not want to have to upgrade again then after that. For me and my gaming life, my next PC should be effectively it. Because it'll be years before I would then need to upgrade again. If I go for absolutely top spec now, sort of thing, or early next year, because it will take the gaming companies and game devs and everything a long time to move their games to require that sort of hardware. And again, a lot of the video games are going to be held back by the consoles. Again, whilst obviously people are still developing for PlayStation 5s and Xboxes, you know, PC ports or PC games aren't going to need anything special or fancy. And until, obviously, then the consoles get the same sort of hardware that as PC guys have, and they've got all the ray tracing and all that sort of stuff in their consoles, we're not going to see a lot of games being designed and developed specifically for that and built for that. So yeah, I imagine any PC I upgrade to in the next 12 months will last me a very, very long time. A very, very long time. I mean, this PC I've got now will last me, realistically, another several years. If it, you know, wasn't already going faulty and developing, you know, hardware faults. You know, if the hardware was, you know, still, you know, mint, perfect condition, it would last for several more years. This fella is about to finish this field. I don't think there's any stones or anything on this. There isn't. So yeah, I can just pretty much come straight over the top now with my my planter. Right, I'll get some fuel, then we'll hook up to the planter and can be ready for some lovely sunflower scattering. Screenshot for the thumbnail. There we go. So yeah, I was hoping to get 3 videos recorded today, but I clearly am not going to manage that now, because I need to be live streaming shortly, so I need to be setting up my streaming aspect of OBS. I think I've got the recording aspect cracked now. I haven't seen any. I mean, my last video that I recorded, I managed to do so with only dropping, I think it was 23 frames due to encoding overload in the 30 minutes or so that I recorded the last episode. So it seems like I've managed to figure out the correct settings for my PC. Although it would be nice if OBS had like a hover over description of what all the different settings actually do in the software. Because then you could hover over it and see the tooltip and say, ah, if I change this, this is going to have this effect, or it's going to cause this. That would be very nice to know. But yeah, sunflowers going in, ladies and gents. Be able to get that field rolled very soon. I have run out of lime. Quick. Quick. Go fill up. Matey's on the last harvesting row now anyway, so no issues there. I'll have to check what's in the silo then, because we may need to then just take some stuff down to our grain mill and get some flour produced, and obviously then get that sold. But yeah, next episode, obviously this field will need rolling. We'll then check on the cow situation, especially as it pertains to the milk situation, because we may need to go and put stuff in the dairies. We might also need to buy sugar for that one dairy that's producing my chocolate, so we might need to go and buy another load of sugar pallets. Get them loaded up and taken over to the dairy. Because like I say, I probably won't be doing any more contracts now in this series, unless there's something that comes along that really is juicy. I think Delores might retire from the contracting business and just focus on her own land over here for a little bit. But like I say, I will be looking at moving this series on, moving to a new map and starting a brand new series. Like I say, hopefully ready for the sort of new year, for 2023. So now's the time, ladies and gents. Leave your recommendations, suggestions, and stuff for what map to play next in the comment section down below, and I can then have a bit of a look at them over the Christmas period and everything, and over the December period. So ladies and gents, if you could be so kind as to do that for me, drop us any suggestions, recommendations, things like that. Go ahead, and then I can be ready then for the new year. So yeah, I'll probably end, this series will probably end at the end of the year, and then we can start 2023 with something new. It should be quite fun. Right, we will go and empty our harvester once more. The seeder's probably going to run out of seed fairly quickly, actually. Yeah, full field. Harvested barley gives us what? 46,000 litres. 46,000 litres of barley off of that one field. It's not bad, really. Not bad at all. Good return on our investment, that. Especially if we, like say, do plan on whizzing it down to the grain mill next episode. But for now, ladies and gents, I'm going to say thank you for watching today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I will see you all in the next one very, very soon. But for now, from me, it's goodbye.